You saw the thumbnail, you read the title, you already know what I'm going to be talking about. Times when life just hits different. Let's get right into it. To start, let's talk about the first snow of the year. If you live in an area that's hot year-round, like Florida or something, then you might not understand this, but when that first snow hits in late November, early December, it just feels different. For me, the first snow this year happened while I was in school, and you already know that I was looking out the window acting like I'm some little kid who never saw it before. But honestly, I don't have any shame about that. I mean, I can't just go the whole class period without looking out the window at the first snow of the year every once in a while. While I'm on the topic of snow, I obviously gotta talk about snow days, or even 2-hour delays for that matter. Just that feeling of waking up and finding out that you don't have to go to school that day is so great, especially if it's on a Friday or a Monday, because then you get an extra day the weekend. Even if it's just a 2-hour delay, you still get 2 extra hours of sleep, and that's always a big plus. To change the topic a little bit, I gotta talk about when you see the sunrise after pulling an all-nighter. The only time I actually pulled an all-nighter was a couple of years ago when I was at my friend's house when we all just decided that we didn't want to sleep that night. And seeing the sunrise after a whole night of not getting any sleep just felt so unreal, especially because of the fact that I wasn't even tired at that time. It kind of felt like I had accomplished something, even though really all I did all night was play video games, but still though, it kind of felt like an achievement. Anyways, the list wouldn't be complete if I didn't talk about the drive home after a vacation. This one's kind of happy and sad at the same time. It's sad because, well, you're leaving your trip and you gotta go back home. But it's happy because you're going back home after a long time, and sometimes you want to be back home. That's why it just hits different. It's because it's like a mix of emotions. You're feeling a bunch of different things at the same time. One side of you wishes you could stay on the trip for a couple more days, but the other side of you just wants to get home. The other thing that kind of makes it feel not real is that everyone's just tired from the trip. Maybe one person's sleeping, one person's silently looking out the window, the driver's just paying attention to the road, they're not really saying much, and depending how far you're driving, this can sometimes last for like 8 hours. It's really just the opposite of the way there, because on the way there, everyone's excited, everyone's hyping up the vacation, it's kind of like a miniature party inside of the car. But on the way back, everything's calm, everything's peaceful, you get to see the sights. The drive there and the drive back are just really different from each other. Now I gotta talk about the first day of school. Bro, the first day of school is just always so awkward. The teacher makes you introduce yourself to the class, you only know like 5 people, you gotta learn everyone's names. What makes it worse is that no one's actually talking. Everyone's just sitting there in silence for 7 hours. The best interaction you're gonna get on the first day of school is just making small talk with someone who you knew last year. But really, the majority of interactions are just you look at someone and they look at you back, and the whole thing's just really awkward. The entire first day, as a matter of fact, the entire first week just feels so weird every time. Alright, now I really gotta talk about your birthday. Unlike the first day of school, birthdays are just so great. It's an entire party that's just themed around you turning 1 year older. You get a bunch of presents for free, and you also get to eat a bunch of sugary, fatty foods all day. But the best part is that you get to just hang out with your friends or cousins for like 4 to 8 hours. Okay, it's time for the last topic of today's video, which is when you're sick, but like to the point where you're hallucinating. This one is bad for obvious reasons, but it still hits different just like the other ones. When your fever is so bad that you're hallucinating, you obviously don't go to school, but you spend the entire day in bed and sleeping. And the fever dreams that you get while you're sleeping are just crazy. It feels like you're on some kind of drug. When the fever is this bad, you can be awake, and it still feels like you're dreaming because of all these hallucinations that you're getting. When you're this sick, time just flies by at different speeds throughout the day. You can blink and it can be an hour later, or you could lay there for 5 minutes and it could feel like 5 hours. And I don't know if this is just me, but when I get a really bad fever, some of my senses just leave, and some of my senses get amplified. Like when I'm really sick, I won't feel anything, but my hearing will just be insane. A lot of times though, I'll just hear things that flat out aren't there. And to top it all off, the memory loss is insane. Like I get so many stories of things I did while I was sick, and I don't remember them whatsoever. All in all, when you're this sick, life just doesn't even feel real anymore. Well, that's all I could really think of when it comes to times that just hit different. If you have any more suggestions, feel free to comment them down below, and if I get enough good suggestions, I'll make a part 2. Anyways, that's all I really have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. And also join the Discord server using the link in my channel's description. But on that note, I'm out. Peace.